Hello and welcome, Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch Reflexology. So good to see you and thanks for joining me today. I wanted to share a really cool, couple little stories that I've noticed about just people coming into my house and noticing something has changed, even though in the area that they're in, nothing has changed. Looks kind of dark. Let's brighten it up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Maybe we can try like a little different color. Why don't we go with that? Okay. Actually, foot chart. Hand chart maybe, hey? Let's try that. Okay, hand chart. Good. So by making a little bit of a subtle change, like that, it feels different, right? I have this little remote here. I gave away my secret, but I can just change the color, and it's kind of cool. It just changes sort of the mood of this room, right? Like if I just turn it off, there we go. It's just a chart on the wall, which looks fine, right? And maybe that's something that you're looking for. But if you just, want a little bit more, you can do that, and it looks kind of cool, right? So as you can see, the changes that I made here are quite obvious, right? So, we went from a foot chart to a hand chart, and then we changed color, right? So that is something that is pretty obvious right in front of me, and obviously you're watching this so you can see the change right away. But I find it really fascinating how somebody might not even see another part of your house, but when you make a change, when you do something, they notice this space has changed, which it hasn't. So I find that really amazing. So, right now I don't have a lot of clients coming in and out because of the whole pandemic craziness that we're in right now. So I'm not seeing regular clients all the time, and so I'll see people where I used to see them more often or more frequently. I won't see them as much. So this one client came in, before I had to actually demo my whole bathroom, right? So there was a leak, and I had to actually, up in the shower, and I had to rip it all apart and that. So that was about, a 3-week to about a month job. And, I cleaned everything up there, so there was nothing outside because I have an entrance over here that they come in. And then if they do need to use the washroom, they go down the hallway, right, to where I had totally changed the bathroom. And so this client came in through the back door, and so there was no evidence that I had actually worked on anything, but they came in to this room, and maybe they haven't been here for a while, so there could be a bit of that factor as well. But I don't change this room too often, just maybe stuff like the poster or things like that. But the client came in and sat down. We did the session, and sort of near the beginning, they were like, "Wow, did you change the paint color in here? Or, is something looks different?" And I said, "No, haven't really changed anything." And, I pretty much always set this chart to this color, right? I tend to like this color when I'm working with a client. And so there was nothing different in this room. And it was really interesting because they were just like, "No, there's something different, something different." So this really made me start to think about also this renovation was something that I have been putting off for a long time, right? Because it was a leak. I knew that to fix it properly, I had to gut the whole thing and bring it down to like the studs, right? Which I ended up doing. And I guess because that was always in the back of my mind, I think that clients or the atmosphere or the environment you're in reads that, right? That little bit of like, energy of something that you have to do, but you're avoiding it, right? So it's very interesting to me because it's not only did this happen this kind of situation where I've been trying to think about doing something for a long time and kind of ignoring it, and then finally doing it. Clients have noticed different things. So other parts of the house where there's something else that I needed to do, and I have been thinking about it a lot, but haven't gotten around to do it. And then when I finally do it, somebody notices that, like, did this room change or did that room change? And no, that room didn't change at all, but the room sort of in another part of the house changed. So I just find it absolutely fascinating that people can pick up this sort of environmental energy that has shifted, right? And so it really makes me think about, like, all the little things that, in your house or whatever, that you sort of, like little messes in areas and things like that, where you just kind of ignore. You kind of just, that's where you just throw your junk and you'll deal with it later, which later never happens, right? And we have all these little places that we stash stuff all over, and we'll just deal with it later. And so not only in physical form, but also I know that I do this a lot on my computer, where I'll just dump a whole bunch of information. I'll be like, I'll just, I'll label it, organize, and then throw everything in that one folder, so it's, I don't see it. But yeah, I think that once you actually work through and clean up those areas and clear that space, it really opens up the energy, and other people do notice it, right? And I just think that's absolutely fascinating. So anyway, I just wanted to share that little story with you. I'm not an expert in Feng Shui or anything like that, but I just found it interesting that not only once has something like this happened, but many times. It's just this last time it was an obvious one that I was like, oh wow, we haven't had energy into changing this place because we've been focusing so much on getting the bathroom up and running that there was no time to do anything else. But they noticed that this area had changed. So just absolutely amazing. So do what you will with that information. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to try and, those areas that I kind of neglect and ignore, and I'll do it later, I'm going to actually try and put a bit more focus into that and just get it done and clear the space and just see what else sort of happens in my life. So anyway, thought I would share that. Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch. Hope you're well, and remember, this had nothing to do with reflexology, but remember to keep those feet happy. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. And if you found it useful, feel free to share it with anybody who might be interested. Make sure that you have subscribed to this channel if you haven't already. And make sure that you hit, or better yet, step on that bell icon so you know when the next video is coming out. And if you have some more time, why don't you check out some other videos? Till next time, this is Adam Thomas from balancingtouch.ca.